Welcome to my first video on my new channel. It's about the 2013 South Korean film titled Hide and Seek. The original title is Sum Bak Og Jil. I hope I'm saying that right. It is dealing with an urban myth about squatters or homeless people who are living in occupied houses, basically. I don't know if this is a real urban myth or if this is just something they made up for the film. But it is kind of creepy and not too far off the mark for really making you a little bit paranoid about what might be going on in your home while you're sleeping or while you're not there. Essentially, the film starts with a young lady walking along a very derelict section of town. There are a few, not very nice types hanging around as she's walking along, talking on her cell phone, her mobile phone. And whoever she's talking to, presumably her boyfriend, she's telling she doesn't really like it here anymore. She doesn't like where she's living. She doesn't feel comfortable there anymore, and she really thinks she needs to be moving on. Well, while she's saying all this, you got the chaps on the sidelines, jeering at her and wolf whistling and, basically trying to pick her up. The sort of thing, that happens in derelict neighborhoods in South Korea, presumably. She gets back to her apartment, and as she gets on a lift or an elevator to go up to the floor she lives on, someone gets on the elevator with her in a motorcycle helmet. This is an omen, obviously, of things that are going to happen later on. And sure enough, while she's talking on Skype or something on her laptop, this individual shows up again, and it's So Long, South Korean girl that wanted to move from the derelict section of town. The film then centers on a South Korean businessman and his family who live in a very nice section of town and a very nice apartment. He's sort of an OCD type chap. I mean, he's one of these, he's constantly washing his hands, in a rhythmic sort of, OCD fashion. But he owns a restaurant, and he's very, very successful. But he's plagued by memories of a brother that he actually did quite badly when they were younger, accused him of a crime, or fingered him for a crime that the kid did or didn't commit. And the older brother became ostracized from the family. So he's sort of crossed between trying to find this brother and then, trying to make things up to him and being very guilt-ridden with what happened. Now, this businessman is on medication, which presumably controls his OCD. And as he gets stressed throughout the film, he will forget to take it. And it makes him worse, in terms of let's wash our hands till they bleed type behavior. Quite an interesting quirk for a quote-unquote hero of a piece. As he's searching for his brother, he receives information that he was last seen in these apartments where, oh, surprise, surprise, the young lady at the beginning of the film meets a rather nasty end. He goes there looking for his brother and finds rather an interesting setup where one apartment leads into another apartment, leads into another apartment. Someone's moving from flat to flat, basically using them whenever they want, which again has to do with how the film's plot is set up, in that these people are living in apartments that are actually inhabited by legal owners without them realizing. Once he's there, he meets this rather odd lady with her child, and his family are accosted by a stranger in the neighborhood, and this particular lady helps them out. Turns out that she's not as good a Samaritan as she comes off originally, and the film takes a very dark turn. The movie is a combination of mystery, thriller, suspense, and a little dash of horror, I guess you could probably say, and it is very, very entertaining. Now, on IMDb, some chap who'd seen the film in a review said it made him think way too much of Dreamhouse, and he thought it was a copy of the Hong Kong horror film. I've seen both films now, and I will be reviewing Dreamhouse later on, which is based on a true story. But the bottom line is, the two films are absolutely nothing alike. There's no similarity in plot. There's no similarity in anything. I don't know where he got that idea from. So disregard the review you see on IMDb. The chap's full of rubbish. Or, at the very least, was on sort of maybe mind-bending drug while he was watching the film. Don't know. Either way, it's available on Netflix at the moment. If you can't find it on Amazon or any other place in which to purchase the DVD, I watched it via Netflix. and it is a cracking little film. I enjoyed it. Freaked me out enough that the place I was living at the time I watched it, I made sure I triple locked all the doors so that there were no crazy people roaming around in parts of the house that I wasn't in. I won't say any more because I don't want to spoil the film, but definitely look it up. It is written and directed by a chap named Jung Huh. It's apparently his maiden voyage as a film writer and director, and it's a damned good one. Very enjoyable film. All the characters were intricate, well played out. The children that are in the film are brilliant. Probably some of the best child actors I've seen since Phone. So it's well worth watching. Enjoy it. If you can find it, watch it. Let me know what you think. And until then, or until the next video, keep watching the films and have fun. Cheers.